Hey there, TRASTRA fans. This week it's fair to say that the news is Larry Fink's exclusive interview to Fox Business, in which BlackRock's formidable chief executive went full Bitcoin bro on us. The segment went on for about 18 minutes. Most of it was about something else, but about one third at the beginning, including the anchor's monologue, was dedicated to basically retelling all possible wives' tales about Bitcoin we've been hearing over the years, that it's a digital gold, a hedge from inflation, that BlackRock is a believer in digitisation of products. I actually can't believe he mentioned tokenization of assets, fractional ownership, and other goodies, and said Bitcoin was a security. He mentioned, just like they all do, democratizing the cost of investing, democratizing crypto. That's always been a big theme in the Cryptoverse, especially in the early stages when one couldn't get funding in fintech lest they pummel VCs with revolutionizing something or other and bringing true democracy into the core and centralized to the gills financial sector. Naturally, Fink never mentioned the types of derivatives they're getting ready to throw on the market. And the anchors in the studio never bothered to ask. He never once mentioned the original message, the fact that Bitcoin was conceived not as an investment asset, but as a peer-to-peer value transfer mechanism. I wonder if anyone even remembers that anymore. And what really made me laugh is Fink's stance on crypto's role in illicit activities. In the beginning, he was skeptical. He said he was skeptical because a lot of that's been going on, but today, as it became more accessible, it's more okay than ever. I guess I never heard of FTX, Binance, Terra Luna, and the rest of them. I mean, I know he's heard of Coinbase because despite the ongoing lawsuit, mind you, it's active. It's actually almost in litigation now, in which Coinbase was charged by the SEC with operating a crypto asset trading platform as an unregistered national securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. Despite all that, BlackRock named Coinbase a custodial surveillance partner of its Bitcoin trust. Naturally, they never asked him about this highly controversial move in my view. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link to that full interview in the description. It's a doozy, and I invite you to check it out in its entirety because you already know what the news of a possible Bitcoin spot ETF did to the market. But by no means it's the only news today, so let's get to the rest of it. According to the monthly earnings report published by ARK Invest, nearly 8,000 Bitcoins are held on OTC desks, indicating a 60% increase this quarter. ARK Invest utilizes OTC desks to represent institutional activity. The figures stated in the report indicate that institutions and other major capital allocators are becoming more interested in Bitcoin. The report also points out that an all-time high of nearly 70% of the 19 million circulating supply of Bitcoin has not changed in more than a year. In addition, the report displays 13 metrics for the Bitcoin network, 12 of which are bullish and only 2 of which are neutral. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust has increased in value by twofold this year. Its GBTC shares were trading at $8.65 at the beginning of the year and are now worth $20. A reminder, ARK Invest recently refiled for a spot Bitcoin ETF application alongside 21 shares, and it's believed to be the front runner for Bitcoin ETF ahead of BlackRock and other asset managers. Circle, the shop behind stablecoin USDC, is considering issuing a stablecoin in Japan, given that the rules governing stablecoins took effect there on June 1st. Speaking to CoinDesk Japan, Circle's co-founder and CEO Jeremy Allaire said that Japan will grow into a very sizable market if stablecoins are used more frequently for international trade, foreign currency transfers, and worldwide commerce. Japan is one of the first nations to provide a framework for the usage of foreign stablecoins, thanks to the stablecoin bill, which Allaire calls the most important thing the government and the financial services agency have done, end quote. Circle is interested in collaborations in Japan, and the business just received a major payment institution MPI license in Singapore, enabling it to provide domestic and international money transfer services as well as digital payment token services there. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz has introduced a bill to prevent the Federal Reserve and the Biden administration from developing a central bank digital currency, aka CBDC. The proposed legislation would prohibit the Federal Reserve System from creating a direct-to-consumer CBDC, effectively a dollar-based cryptocurrency. Cruz argues that the federal government lacks the authority to establish a central bank currency unilaterally, and that a government-created digital currency could be more vulnerable to cyber attack and used to surveil Americans' private transactions. The bill is co-sponsored by Senators Mike Braun and Chuck Grassley, who share concerns about potential government overreach and privacy infringements. I can see what miffs this guy, because Singapore's DBS Bank China subsidiary, DBS Group China, has launched a payment system to support China's central bank digital currency, that ECNY, and whatever is good for the Chinese goose is poison for the American gander. The platform would enable companies to receive payments from clients in ECNY and have settlements instantly placed into fiat bank accounts, according to the announcement by the largest bank in Southeast Asia. Binance announced it's retiring certain deposit addresses and memos as part of a comprehensive wallet infrastructure upgrade to enhance efficiency and fund security. The migration to the new system is scheduled for Q3 this year, and users will be individually prompted via email to set up new wallet addresses over the coming months. The transition process will be carried out in phases across various cryptocurrency networks, including Bitcoin, Ripple, Solana, Litecoin, Polkadot, Avalanche, and Cardano, among others. Binance reassured users that funds deposited into expired addresses won't be lost and can still be manually credited via the transaction history page. Institutional investors interested in financial instruments giving exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum have increased, according to a report by crypto data provider CC Data. According to the research, the major cryptocurrencies saw increases in spot trading volumes, derivatives trading, and CME futures contracts. According to the study, June's bullishness was motivated by the recent BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF filing. What else? Which led to other major asset managers like Fidelity, Invesco, WisdomTree, and ARK Invest to file their own applications. The volume of Bitcoin futures traded on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, CME, increased by 28.6% to $37.9 billion in June, while the value of Bitcoin and micro futures increased by 21.1% to $702 million, with over 97,000 ETH futures contracts traded and 10.8% increase in June. Ethereum-based instruments also experienced a significant increase. The volume traded, valued in USD at $46.8 billion, increased by 24.6%. The rise in trade and speculation may benefit the CME Group's newest offering, the Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio futures, which is scheduled to launch later this month, subject to regulatory approval. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz, remember the guy with an embarrassing Luna tattoo on his shoulder, intends to move some people and operations overseas in the short term amid regulatory uncertainty in the US, according to a conference transcript released Wednesday. Novogratz warned that other crypto companies are looking to follow suit. Crypto exchange Gemini, for example, is one, recently announcing plans to build out its Singapore office by hiring more than 100 employees. Longer term, Novogratz said the US has to be part of the system and is committed to engaging with regulators and politicians to get to a good place. Novogratz was also skeptical about a draft bill that aims to provide guidelines on when tokens transition from being treated as a security to a commodity, predicting it will not pass. Royalties earned by NFT projects have fallen to their lowest level in 2 years, according to a report by blockchain analytics firm Nansen. The drop in NFT royalties is due to the recent decrease in the floor price of Bored Ape NFTs and the controversy surrounding the minting of Azuki Elementals. Yuga Labs, the company that created the apes, has amassed royalties totaling $165.5 million from its portfolio. To be perfectly honest, it's beyond me how they managed even that, but they did, so kudos. The top 10 NFT collections have generated over $345 million in royalties, with Yuga Labs accounting for 44% on top of 10 with $150 million in royalties. However, the downfall doesn't seem to bother Credit Suisse, who, in partnership with the Swiss Football Association, is set to launch a collection of 756 NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain on July 11th. So today, tomorrow. The NFTs, which feature talented women football players from SFA, come with exclusive rewards such as physical artwork, interactions with players, and signed jerseys. The NFTs will be available on the CSX digital platform, with prices ranging from $107 to $11,000. All proceeds from the NFT sales will be used to support women's football, promote respectful competition, and amplify female voices. The funds will contribute to the development of the football team and other organizations nurturing female talent. This initiative marks a significant step in the intersection of sports and NFTs, following similar moves by football teams like Arsenal FC, Brazil FC, and Manchester FC. And finally, remember how we all admired Taylor Swift for her due diligence regarding a sponsor deal with FTX? I mean, she's smart this and her dad's an investment banker that. Remember? I even produced a video on TikTok praising Swift's inquisitive mind and agile intellect because supposedly she was the only celebrity on the SEC chopping block who bothered asking if the now defunct FTX was trading unregistered securities. Well, guess what? She actually signed and agreed to a sponsorship deal with FTX after 6 months of rigorous negotiations. The signed agreement was sent to FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried's email inbox, where it remained unanswered for weeks. And ultimately, a group of FTX executives persuaded Bankman-Fried not to follow through with the reported $100 million deal. I remember the New York Times interviewing Swift's attorney, who bears a very attorney name, Adam Moskowitz, who lauded Swift's smarts and said that the artist asked the exchange to explain why its listed assets were not considered unregistered securities, and when she didn't hear an adequate explanation, she backed out of a $100 million deal. Well, it turns out that Mr. Moskowitz was full of shit. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed producing it for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our TikTok, where we keep the short ones, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.